All right, we just finished Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 6, The Warhammer Titan.
Very
Cory,
appropriate name, title.
yes, it was a very appropriate name. Um, Spoiler alert, obviously, if you're watching this or listening to this, uh, hopefully you've seen everything up until this point. So, I wanna talk about this episode from start to beginning, just the big things that happened throughout it, and give some just raw thoughts out there. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, beginning of the episode, it starts off how it ended, kind of. I
And
mean,
well,
Aaron.
yeah, I mean there was a Willie Tibber got eaten right away, though there was a little flashback before that with his family.
Yes. Which was pretty cool because, kind of like threw around those final hints of is he not the Warhammer Titan?
And you had thought he was, correct?
Yes, I was 100% on board that he was. And yeah, he wasn't. He got eaten. He's done. Like I don't think there's any way to come back from that.
I don't think so. It, how did you react when you saw the lady start glowing?
Oh, at that point I knew. As soon as
Well,
she was
yeah.
over there, I was like, oh, that must be them. She's gonna transform, and then she did.
Now,
Uh,
before that, Aaron, he body dove into a stand of military troops. It was kind of
yeah,
hilarious.
he like tripped. It looked like he tripped, but I mean he did
Yeah,
it
he,
on
body,
purpose.
he body slammed face forward, and a big chunk of cement or rock landed on Sophia.
She's dead.
Yeah, she died instantly. We didn't even see it happen. They just turned around and then saw her legs.
Udo got hurt, or Odo.
He died, man.
He's not good.
You got trampled.
That was really sad to watch, but it
Yeah.
kind of gave a better perspective on what was happening.
Yep. And then, dude, I loved
So
how.
then,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, what's Falco's brother's name?
Colt. Yeah.
Colt. Yes. He saves Gabby. I mean,
Yep.
not necessarily saves her, but he drags her aside,
Yeah.
which is, saves her from getting trampled like her friend just did.
Dude, I loved how when the Warhammer was transforming, Aaron punched her right before she finished.
Oh yeah, it was a real cool moment of she's transforming, and
Yeah.
Eric comes in there and he's like, no, you're not. I mean, she still got it off, and we found out how strong that thing was.
Yep. And then pretty much right after that, they summoned that spear killer out of the ground.
Yeah, so that was, I was wondering what that was when I saw the poster a while back, and I thought
Yeah.
I thought that was ironically like a laser coming out of the hammer.
That's like a UFO beam. It almost.
Yes, it turned out not to be a laser, but it is a gigantic pillar that came out of the ground.
Dude, that internment zone
It-
was just a mess.
It impaled Aaron 200 feet in the air,
Yeah.
but as we know, Titans are really resistant to pain,
I hope they are. For their own
and
sake.
so from there, that's when he gets down from there eventually.
Yeah, he does. He smashes himself off of it right before
He
got
starts
whacked.
to try and fight back, and then the Warhammer Titan literally busts out the Warhammer itself
Yep.
and
Smashes his head off.
smashes his head off, absolutely demolishes him, and Aaron has pretty much lost at that point.
Now and then right around this time too, I thought it was interesting how they did this. The scouts came in, but they didn't really like their entrance. You just saw them in the background, and you would have thought that it would have been like more like a climactic like showing because it was a big deal. But you just literally see them flying through the background, and they're like what's that? And then they realize, and then you realize, and
Yeah,
we see John back. We see Flock.
yeah, he was still complaining like last season too.
I mean, he brings some fair points. To be fair.
He does, but it just seemed like the wrong place and the wrong time to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to see everybody back. It's cool that you bring that point up though, because it continues this perspective of Marley as like
Yeah.
the central point of this series.
Well, you might argue they're a victim. It's certainly from their perspective, I believe.
Yes, and it's pretty cool to see that. I like that they're still sticking with it. It wasn't like a one episode time thing. It's been 6 whole episodes. They've shown it from their side of the story.
Yep. Now, halfway through the episode, he disappears.
Yeah, so Aaron's like down on the ground. It looks like he's given up, but like he doesn't have that face of defeat. He's kind of like got the plan. And the Warhammer Titan, she's like, "What are your final words?" You know, it's one of those cliche movie scenes
Yeah.
where the villain asks, and he like mutters, "Mikasa, if you're gonna do it now, or something like that. And she flies out, and it's like, boom, we haven't seen her in a while.
She came out with a bang, you know, like literally launching all those thunder spears.
All the Thunder Spears that we saw take down Reiner from the last season, which feels like so long ago after
It
watching
does.
this season so far.
It really does.
And she causes a distraction, pretty much saves him. She doesn't like kill it or anything, because as we find out, that thing has super armor.
Dude, Sasha's a sniper now. She has this long rifle. She ditched
Yeah,
the bow.
so as that's happening, we've got that happening. We've also got the remainder of the scouts patrolling the city streets, and they're just assassinating guards from the sky, basically.
Now I've got a question for you.
Yes, what's the question?
What do you suppose the light is that Connie has placed down?
That's a really good question. I was going to ask you. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I
And-
know it's not. I wouldn't say it's like a major spoiler to tell you, but I'm not gonna tell you because you know.
Yeah. My one suspicion is it has to do with one character that we have not seen on screen.
Oh, are you talking about Blonde Boy?
We're talking about Mr. Blonde Boy, Armin, who
That's a
did
good
not
point.
appear as far as I'm aware.
He's conspicuously absent.
Yes, and he's also that much important because he has a certain Titan.
But you gotta figure though too, like you don't. I mean, if he's gonna do anything, he can't do it when this, like you know, right next to the scouts.
It's a little, yeah, I'd imagine they're holding back
Yeah.
because he can't literally transform in the middle of this city, or else he'll blow up half the inhabitants.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's missing, but they've got a plan with him, surely. I don't know if the lights relate to it at all,
Good.
but it was pretty weird to see Sasha just shooting guys like with this aggression.
Yeah, I mean they've done it before though technically, but I see your point.
She's,
Against
I
the
mean, it
Interior
shows how
Squad?
different things are,
Oh yeah, it's been 4 years. So
and it'd be really awkward to see her doing that and like cracking a joke afterwards.
yeah.
like her and Connie would. I mean, they kind of have a moment afterwards, but
Yeah.
it's not anything bubbly like they used to.
Well, I don't. That's probably not the time for this.
Yeah,
So
that's not the time, especially after she shot the guard that Gabby was standing next to.
those were the guards that guarded the gate of the ghetto. But they walked past them like every day, so she knew
Yeah,
those people.
they congratulated Falco when he beat her in a race.
Yep. And yeah, it doesn't necessarily pertain to this episode, but I mean, what do you see for the future of Deb after
Well, she survived, which
for
means
now?
something.
Yeah.
Um, it's a really good question because she's at the end of the episode we see her basically running back
Yeah.
as
With the
those
gun.
guards try to stop her. Yeah, with a gun. She picks it up from the guard that died right next to her, and I imagine she's gonna try to stop the scouts.
So
And
right after all this, Aaron finds out that the Warhammer is basically hiding underground. He grabs the pistol that she's
yeah,
in.
he's doing that as like John is kind of surveying the scene, and John gives like this weird motivational speech where he's like, "If Aaron doesn't win, we lose,"
Yeah.
and
He's
it
got
like it's like this weird thing. He has a good point, and then then afterwards he says something like, which I like a lot more. He says like, even if we win this, what happens next? Because, I don't even know what happens if they win that. So, but yeah, they find out, or Aaron finds out with his big brain skills that the user of the Warhammer Titan is like buried in a cocoon underground,
yeah, just like Annie,
and
essentially.
just like Annie, my voice cracked there, just like Annie,
Yeah.
and he pulls it out, which was a weird scene to see him just pull out this giant cocoon underneath the ground. And he pulls it out and he's like gonna eat it, but then the Jaw Titan comes out
Yep.
from good old Porco, and Porco saves the Warhammer Titan from being eaten, essentially, and pins Aaron down.
Until
Levi comes out.
slashes his jaw muscle. That
And
was
he
a
did
good
that so
finish.
quickly too.
Yeah.
He just comes in and boom.
Yeah.
It was real cool to see that happen because they showed like Porco just watching them all, and they were all coming towards him like this wild herd of sharks, just completely unafraid of him. He even mentions that he's like, they're coming for me. They're not afraid of me, a Titan.
Yeah, I mean, because, he's fought in wars before, but he's never fought anybody like the Scouts. I mean, as far as the Scouts are concerned, this is just another day of work. They take down
Yeah,
Titans all the time, so.
they've dealt with so many Titans. Yes.
And that's pretty much the episode.
Yeah, it ends right that. I assume Peak is going to show up very soon because
Yeah,
she
said
runs
she
off.
was getting ready. They,
Yeah, she runs off to go fit up her equipment.
You know,
And
you know who else was absent?
Commander Pixis.
Yes, but I was thinking more like Falco and Reiner.
Oh yeah, what happened to them?
I don't know. I mean, they were
building.
they were in that building underground. That's all we saw.
Now
Reiner-
I have this theory. I'm gonna share with you right now, live. And I have this theory that I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna assume at some point Falco's gonna be like badly injured.
Okay.
You know, considering this building may have just fallen on him, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, it probably did.
And lo and behold, there is a Titan shifter with him named Reiner that I have a theory he may give his Titan ability to Lil Falco to make him survive.
Oh, okay.
Now I don't know
I
how
like
that'll
it.
happen because like
I mean, it could happen if there's a serum nearby.
if there's just a serum laying around, yes.
Yeah. I like the idea. I mean, as far as you can surmise at this point, Reiner wants Falco to have his Titan. So
Yeah, he wants him to have it more than Gabby, I
Yeah.
think.
yeah, it does.
But we didn't really see the Zeke show up either.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, did you realize that like every Titan is here except for Annie? Like literally all of them.
It's a party.
Yeah, it is. That's why they use CG models, because they don't want to animate 7 different Titans.
You can't blame them for that. That would take.
I know, but it. Look, man, they did some good things. Wit did in the past, and sometimes you miss those days. But I get it.
Do you want to touch up on that quickly at all?
No, not really. It's all good. I know that.
Okay.
Well, I'll say this too. Is if I read correctly, Wit Studio did not want to complete season 4. They didn't want to touch it because they had like Vinland Saga and like some other project, and so they reached out to a lot of other studios, and Studio Mappa was like the only one that wanted to take it on.
Oh wow.
So like, you know, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose.
Yeah, that's.
Because like technically,
It's noticeable.
it could have never happened at all.
Yeah, I'm glad they took the job. I mean, otherwise it could be 1, 2, maybe even 3 years until we saw this.
I wouldn't mind waiting. I'll say that. As an Attack on Titan fan, we waited 4 years between season 1 and 2, but it is.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind waiting either because we've done it plenty of times.
But like I said,
and
it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't mind. So far, at least. The Warhammer Titan's real bizarre anyway, so it's kind of like they're getting used to animating something that hasn't been animated yet. Like you've got nothing to look at, you know. So,
Yeah.
but I like always looking back at these with you because you've read the manga up until a certain point.
Yep.
And I'm wondering if at this point has anything like changed? Has anything been noticeably different than inside the manga, or is it like straight to the point? Like,
It's really close. I think the only thing that I noticed was Willie's flashback in the beginning of this episode. That actually happened like before he died. So like they basically just kind of switched it around when they show it, and I think that's totally fine because it's like it happens when he's dying. That's him like thinking back about his family. So it's the same.
I didn't mind that.
Yeah. But otherwise, no. It is faithful. It's a faithful thing that they've done. They might have skipped a couple lines of dialogue here or there, but nothing important.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, then that pretty much wraps up this recap on season 4, episode 6, the Warhammer Titan, and we will be back here for the next episode, maybe when it comes out.
I didn't know that.
All right. Yes, we will. All right.
Okay.
Any final thoughts?
Dedicate your hearts.
Advance.